What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Philly with John Marks on PHLY. As always, brought to you by BetParx. Big show today. We'll introduce our co-host coming up in a second. It is Spirit Week here at ALLCITY, and we've teamed up with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, an incredible group creating life-changing mentorships for kids across the country. You know, Big Brother and Big Sisters, they've been doing it for years and years and years. I mean, I don't really even need to explain how important they are to communities and to individuals across our area and the entire country. They've been doing it for such a long time. So we've set a goal as a company of $10,000. We want to beat that. We want to top that. In fact, I think Tyler has made a donation of $9,000, so we're almost there right now. You can donate using the link in the video or description. And you can also become a Big Brother, Big Sister. Everything. Just go to bbbs.org/allcity. BBBS, that's Big Brother, Big Sister.org/allcity. As it is Spirit Week here, you can see the little banner up there if you're watching on YouTube. And joining us right now for Spirit Week, he's courtesy of blackgritty.com. His name is Black Gritty, and he joins us. Good morning, Black Gritty.
Hey, I'm spirited out. I got my PHLY fly. I'm out here looking good. Woo!
So I didn't know if Spirit Week was like Pride Week, but it's Spirit Week, Pride Week.
Yeah.
Combine them, something like that.
I feel like it's all the same. The general jazz, the vibes high.
Gotcha.
You got to represent where you're from. You know what I mean? Put your flag on your chest. You know what I mean?
Spirit Week. So you have your PHLY stuff on. I don't, because I don't have a PHLY shirt.
I'm a PHLY American today.
Or a sweatshirt, so I need one. There you go. Very cool. Allphly.com if you'd like to get some of our great merchandise and our gear. Allphly.com. Tyler Zuli's with us. He'll join us coming up in a second. Black Gritty, the Phillies are winning the World Series again, aren't they?
Phillies are winning the World Series. Man, look, it's a train I can't get off of. I can't stop it. I can't deny it. I mean, we lost, 92 of 100? I don't know what it was, but now we 5-0. We 5-0. We out there straight. Sometimes, remember back in the day, we used to go down to Miami and Arizona, we would just lose. Like, I would blame it on the stripping and dipping, but now we go down there
kick
and
their ass,
business. And the times have changed because you shouldn't lose to them, but something happens sometimes when they go down to Miami. So last night was a great game. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch them find ways to win, even though you expect them to win through the injuries without Bryce and all that kind of stuff. So it feels good, Johnny Marks.
It does. So they were 1-9. Then they were 9-1, and then they went 1-9, and now they've won 5 straight. So the ups and downs, the ebbs and the flows of the season. It is crazy. And you know what? It's not just for the team. It's for the players too, right? So if you look at it, I want to say 2 weeks ago, I think both of us were designated Brandon Marsh for assignment.
Yeah.
Max Kepler, trade him, get him on the first bus out of town. So Kepler hit the game-winning home run on Saturday night, the game I went to. And then last night he hit a home run. Marsh has been really good. He hit his first triple last night. Since he returned from injury May 3rd, he's hitting .333. So, and again, that's not in an everyday starting role because I don't think he's an everyday starter.
He's not.
Yeah, let's not get this confused. I think you ride him when he's playing well, but ultimately he's probably a platoon player, right? And then Alec Bohm. Now, Black Gritty, this is directly for you as the Alec Bohm hater of the group.
Yes.
Alec Bohm, 2 more hits last night. His average is up to 286. He's had a really, really good stretch right here. Alec Bohm, your thoughts? Are you ready to say you're sorry to Alec and his family?
So when you say his name, I want to punch Tyler Zulli in the face. It's an HR nightmare waiting to happen. Just having to say his name every time I bring it up. I just want to smack Tyler. But I will continue to hate on Bohm because it's my hate and that fuels this man. He has heard me talk trash about him on a daily basis, and I feel like personally he's doing it to spite me so that you and the Zulies and everybody else on Twitter can tell me how dumb I am. The Phillies official page, when they post something about Bohm, I go in there and I still say that I hate him because I got to keep that fire stoked. And I let the internet roast me about it. And I'll stand for it, Johnny Marks. I can't stand Bohm. He better keep delivering. Shut up, Tyler, and stop smiling. I know you're over there doing it somewhere in the background.
Yeah, he sure is. Since and I'm trying to do some quick math here. Since May 1st, all right, he's batting .331. And that's 157 at bats. So Marsh is a smaller sample size because he doesn't play as much. Reality is he has 7 home runs, 25 RBIs, and he's hitting .331 since May 1st. So he had that dreadful start to the season. Everybody traded him. What, the Phillies, they're a loser organization. You need Otto Kemp up here. They need to get rid of Bohm. Well, Otto Kemp is up here, and Bohm is actually delivering. So as somebody that gets very frustrated with Bohm, I can say, you know what? He told us at the time that he'll figure it out, and he did. So Bohm is an important part on this team. If the Phillies are going to go deep into the playoffs this year, they can't have the Alec Bohm we saw last year. We can't have the Alec Bohm with that stupid long hair looking like a teenager flopping around in the dugout with his teammates obviously aggravated with his immaturity. Hopefully that's changed. But dude, when he can hit, and he's been hitting the last 2 months. There you go.
If we're cherry picking from 2001 to 2006, I was bench pressing 425. You know what I mean? I was 275. And we just out here cherry picking numbers from whatever the first to 31st. And we just want to cherry pick numbers where we can talk about how great we were. You know what I mean? I was like 75 pounds less. I was doing real good from 01 to 06, Johnny Marks. If we just want to select a little random spot in time to give us
were you a little thinner in those years?
I was going to the gym 2 times a day. I was only eating tuna fish. I was out there working at Johnny Marks. Steroids. And then I became an adult, and now I'm like, but yeah, if we want to cherry pick times, I can give a couple dates out here.
All right.
Where I was batting 1,000. Good job, Bohm, for doing your job. I appreciate you.
Congratulations.
And you're right. We do need him.
Trey Turner, 3 for 5. He crushed a home run to lead off the game. He's been playing really well recently. So that's kind of like Trey Turner, and I'm right there with everybody else. He frustrates me so much because his defense, you just hate him defensive. When he's well at the plate, man, he is good at the plate. So those 4 players right there. Now, Bryson Stott is the one guy, and he hurt his elbow last night on a swing.
Yeah.
He's been awful. He really has. So I don't know how serious this injury is, but I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a little Otto Kemp at second base occasionally.
Is it going like the Monstars or something? Like Stott goes down and Bohm goes up. Like they both can't play well at the same time. Like it really feels like, man, like you punks can't be happy for each other and give me good play together at one time. It always seems like one's up and one's down. And it's a really weird ebb and flow with those 2 guys. And yes, you were absolutely right. Because when Bryce comes back, everybody's like, well, how do we got to keep Kemp in the lineup? So we might have to try that out, Johnny Marks. We might have to try the world.
They have some at-bats for him right there. All right, so let's talk about it. So Mick Abel last night, again, a kind of another player that I remember hearing early in the season, like, oh, we'll trade Abel for an outfielder, trade Abel for a reliever. And like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I was all that high on Mick Abel based on what you've seen in previous seasons. Former first-round draft pick, has all the talent in the world, but like a lot of high school pitchers, they don't develop, right? You're looking at an 18-year-old, you're drafting them in the first round more or less because of velocity, and they don't end up developing, right? College pitchers in this day and age are much more of a sure thing to make the majors. And kind of out of nowhere, I guess he had some type of a moment where something clicked, because in 4 starts, his ERA is 2.21. He's 2-0. He's not going deep in the games, which is totally fine. Fine. He's a 5-inning pitcher at this point, but he's given the team what they need. And he did it again last night. And Mick Abel, and this is the thing, Noel's going to be out for 2 months now, apparently, so he's not going to be back. This kid's going to get a chance to start, and it's really what he deserves. And it's what the Phillies need as well.
So I'm going to try and just wait on the complaint. I've already complained about enough things that I'm turning out to be wrong about. I don't like being that wrong, Johnny Marks. Abel is doing what you need him to do, and you don't really have an alternative. We can all complain and say whatever we want to say about everything that's going on. Losing Alvarado, like there's a lot of things that this team has gone through in a short period of time. You know, the season's not halfway over yet. So we got to let these guys breathe. We got to give them a chance because, as you can see, we get to cherry pick when somebody's on fire, and they might, new place, new time, new people. You got to get into a rhythm. So congrats to him for holding on. To play in.
This portion of the program brought to you by GLAT HAIR Restoration, GLATHairMM.com, 610-980-4000. You can text them. So here's the question, and we'll bring in Tyler Zulli for this as well. What's the biggest need on this Phillies team right now? And what will it be at the trade deadline? I don't think it's even going to be close. Because I don't know if they're getting an outfielder, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if they need an outfielder.
I don't think they think they need an outfielder.
I agree. Correct.
Yeah.
So here's the question. Do you use Mick Abel as your main trade bait to go out and not get a Estevez or, like a B-level closer? That ultimately is your would be your closer, but to get an A-level closer, a guy that's under club control. We're talking about the A's closer probably right now. Do you use Mick Abel to go out and get the closer that you desperately need for this team?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm getting Painter, right? Painter's coming back. Painter's coming in.
Painter will be
Painter.
Painter will be back.
Then that's what I'm basing that on. Absolutely. Yes.
It's, you know what? I hate to look at it like that. And I would say no, but to your point. So let's look at the rotation going forward. And by the way, I just saw this last night. Zach Wheeler said he's hanging him up after 2027 when his contract expires. He's going to retire. You see that?
Yeah. I don't like that. Why we got to talk about that?
But I mean, like, but it also, and by the way, that's 2 full seasons after this where he'll be in his late 30s. But so like for the next 2 seasons after this, you have Zach Wheeler as your one. You have Luzardo under contract for next year. You have Chris Sanchez under contract into like 2030. Ranger Suarez is probably going to leave, or he's going to leave via free agency. You have Aaron Nola, you have Mick Abel, and then you have Andrew Painter. You really have one more starting pitcher than you need. You have 6 starting pitchers. Now, Luzardo could leave after next year, and you could try to plan for that. But still, you do have an abundance of starting pitching. And a lot of that is because you have an absolute meatball of a contract with Aaron Nola to be your 5th starter.
Yeah.
Which absolutely crushes your team. Because you can't sign Ranger Suarez. You have to let him leave. There's too much money tied up in your rotation. There's too many starting pitchers. But I also don't want to get rid of a former first-round draft pick for a closer.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel really, really crappy if I was to do that. But what else are you going to do? Right? I don't know, man.
The window's closing, bro. The window's closing. We're not going to be able to extend this window. Stott and Bohm are basically busts. I don't care what the numbers say right now. They're not the young Lions that are going to help lift up this team, even though they're 6'5" and look like Adonises. You know what I mean? Look like Tarzan, play like Jane. Like I can't bet my hopes on that. Like I've got to try and win now. And I got Schwarber to pay. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. And hearing Wheeler say that, I never like hearing players talk about when they want to retire. Just spring it on me. Don't give me an expiration date, because next year when you start pitching poorly or something else is going on, I'm gonna start blaming it on you already having one foot out the door. I hate that. Love Wheeler, but I hate when players say that. And it also makes me sad. I don't want to be sad.
I don't want to be sad.
Tyler, tell us why we're wrong.
Tyler, Mason Miller would be under club control through 2029 before he's a free agent. Not great this year, though. And listen, I'm just looking at his numbers. He still has a lot of strikeouts compared to innings, etc. And 1 or 2 bad outings could really blow a reliever's ERA up. But his ERA is over 5. But still, but I think Black Gritty had said the biggest thing. The window's closing here, bro. And they desperately need somebody to slide into the back end of that bullpen. So Abel goes 5 innings last night. I'm like, oh my God, they got to get 6, 7, 8, and 9 from this bullpen. They did it, but still, man. So what would you do? Mick Abel is probably then you're not giving up any prospects, that you're giving up a legit MLB starting former first-round pick. What would you do? You muted, Tyler.
Aaron Nola is about to miss 2 months. And I don't know if it's 2 months or if that's the start date of recovery. You know, if he's going to miss 2 months and then have to spend 4 weeks rehabbing, throw off flat ground, 90 feet, 120 feet, long toss, make a couple of rehab starts, you're talking about probably getting into August by the time that Aaron Nola would be readily available. And then what kind of pitcher are you getting in Aaron Nola? So I don't think if you're going to move Mick Abel right now, my question is, who's making the starts?
Taijuan Walker.
Taijuan Walker back into the rotation. That's probably the likeliest scenario. And then you still need to go get a reliever anyway, not because I think Taijuan Walker is a stud high leverage reliever, just by sheer numbers sake. You're going to have to add somebody to the 26-man roster just by the numbers alone. I think Mick Abel right now is telling you that he belongs in the rotation. He's given up some hard contact in the last couple of starts, but he's worked out of it for the most part, where I think, you know, he's through 5 starts, he's got a 2.2 ERA. I think the Phillies right now need Mick Abel in their rotation because of the fact you have no real timetable for Aaron Nola and you have no real timetable for productivity for Aaron Nola, and that fifth starter spot would be very much still up in the air. Pair that with the fact that we do tend to believe that Ranger Suarez is going to walk in free agency. You're then down 2 starters in the span of a year or in the span of 6 months. That, you know, is Andrew Painter going to be on the opening day roster next year or not? Is like you're
all right. So let me ask you, what's your, because this year you can get by without a 5th starter this year. I'm not worried about that. To me, it's the future. What's your rotation next year? Ranger Suarez leaves free agency. What's your rotation next year?
Wheeler, Painter, no, in no particular order. Wheeler, Painter, Luzardo, Nola, and Mick Abel.
Sanchez.
Oh, excuse me. Wheeler, Painter, Luzardo, Nola, Sanchez.
Who now? It's nice to have organization or pitching depth in the organization. Who's the odd man out? You can't have 6 starters. See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Let me rephrase that. It starts Abel. Abel will, if you have everything as constructed currently and nobody gets traded, Abel would be the one that cracks camp and makes the opening day roster, because I don't think Andrew Painter's on the opening day roster next year. But I do think he will be available shortly after that, because they're going to super to him. They're going to manipulate his time frame. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him from hitting free agency a year prior than he could. So it'll be amazing.
Okay, but come June 1st, what's your rotation? And sometimes because of injuries and things like that, you don't ever have to worry about that. I guess that it's a good problem to have that extra starter. And by the way, Tyler, I wouldn't trade him for a closer. As much as I'm trying to like play the other side right here, there's a reason why closers make the money that they make, and they get the years that they get. Even a young closer like Mason Miller, but still, like, closers are like kickers, man. They could be the best in the business, and then you're wanting to designate them for assignment the next year. There's no way I'm trading a young starter that's a former first-round draft pick. These guys get $30 million a year. Aaron Nola's throwing meatballs, and he gets $25 million a year for the next 5 years, right? So, or more than that. So, like, no way. No way. I mean, honestly, I need more than just Mason Miller if I'm trading Mick Abel.
How do I get the cow with these? What magic beans do I have? What am I trading to get what I actually need to win now? And again, you're talking about the
prospects.
Future, the future right now. Well, they better, Tyler, you better tell me we got enough prospects to get some stuff done. Because again, I'm telling you, my window's closed. And you can tell me we got this young first-round pick. Who's he going to be throwing the ball to? A 500 club team that's not making the postseason? Because again, as far as I'm concerned, we're kicking the can backwards every single year we go into the postseason. So I'm 2 years away from not even making the playoffs anymore. And if I got this young phenom guy I'm about to pay $30 million to, and Bryce is back going every 2 weeks, Bohm's out there sipping a latte somewhere, and Stott's got a robo elbow, and Schwarber's out with the Cubs again. I don't know what's going on right now. I need to win right now, Johnny Marks. I need to win right now.
You're right.
So to answer your question, if you're trading Mick Abel, the justification behind it is one of two things. You're getting an everyday outfielder, or you're getting a bona fide closer at the back end of the rotation, or at the back end of the bullpen. If you're playing that game, you have to go and acquire somebody, that team that is not competitive, because competitive teams aren't giving up their their high leverage relievers. You have to find somebody who is team controlled, because I don't think you're not moving a Mick Abel type of trade piece for a 1-year rental like an Estevez type of move last year. And the third thing is you have to go and acquire somebody who one of these teams that are out of contention are willing to move. Like Mason Miller is the name that always comes up, but I don't think the A's are super have a ton of intent of moving Mason Miller unless something blows them away. He's got 5 years of team control left. I just don't see a scenario in which they move him unless the trade blows them away. So you have to fit that three-way Venn diagram, and it's a very, very, very small overlap. And then if you want to add a fourth circle into it, the fourth circle is this player worth moving Mick Abel for?
I don't think he is. And to your point, like, we want the A's to trade him, but what do the Phillies have to trade him if they're not going to trade Mick Abel, right? So let's look at it. They're not going to trade Aiden Miller. I don't think they're going to trade Justin Crawford, right? So they're going to try to give the Athletics the prospects that they don't want to give up, or they're going to send Taiit out there, right? So, like, we hold on to our prospects. We don't want to trade our prospects, but you're not going to get a closer unless you trade prospects, right? Or you trade a guy like Mick Abel. So it feels like, Blackready, to your point, we're going to be shopping at Five Below, not the dollar store. We're going to be shopping at Five Below, where they need to go to a department. They need Bloomingdale's.
Yes.
This team needs Bloomingdale's. They need a Bloomingdale reliever in the bullpen, and at least one right now.
At least
God, it sucks. It sucks to be in this. You have to win right now because this is really starting. The window's really starting to close.
And Alvarado put us in a bad spot. Alvarado put us in a bad spot.
Wow, man, he sure did. What about Crawford? Would you trade Crawford for him, Tyler?
Crawford for who?
For in a package for Mason Miller. Hitting 330 something, not a lot of power, but still, he's 21 years old, man.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that he's probably not in my like untradeable list. He's probably in the tier below untradeable. I have 3 guys in the untradeable list in this organization. It's Andrew Painter. It's Aiden Miller still. I know people are down on him because his numbers aren't great in AA. It's still Aiden Miller. And it's Eduardo Taiit. Those 3 guys are my untradeable prospects. Everybody else I'm having conversations about for sure. I think Justin Crawford has a place on this Major League roster, and I think it's sooner rather than later. I just don't like, if you come to me and blow me away with a trade that includes Justin Crawford, I make the move. If you come to me and try to underwhelm me, I sit here and I say, I do think Justin Crawford's a major leaguer, and I would hold out for something better.
Top closers in baseball right now. Robert Suarez has 21 saves. His ERA is over 3. How about our old buddy Carlos Estevez? Right, and they're not moving. No, but here's my point. Carlos Estevez, the Phillies traded for last year. They could have re-signed him if they wanted to. He's a 2.05 ERA and 19 saves. Kyle Finnegan, 18 saves. Josh Hader, who I always liked, 1.45 ERA. Andres Munoz from Seattle. Jeff Hoffman, now his ERA is high, but you get my point. You can find closers. I know Blackready wants to go to Lord & Taylor and spend $5,000 on a jacket. Man, I'm not that kind of guy. I can shop at Kohl's and still get good value. You know what I mean? I can go to Target and get a shirt that's going to fit and look decent. All right? I am not trading Mick Abel for a closer. No. And I'm not trading one of these top prospects either.
You're over here using Flex Seal on a dam that's leaking, bro. It's not going to work. I know when you slap it on in the infomercial, you think you're going to just plug and play. We are in a downward spiral, Johnny Marks. I'm trying to win the World Series. I can't have this core not win me one chip. We came so close, and we're getting further and further and further away from it. And Johnny Marks, I'm not trying to wait another decade before I have real hope in my heart. I at least still have hope right now. I need a move, Johnny Marks. I need a move.
Yeah,
John.
Yeah, go ahead.
With this conversation, all of those guys that you just mentioned, the worst team record-wise of everybody that you just mentioned is the Kansas City Royals. They still think they can turn their ship around. They're 4 games under 500. They still think they can turn their ship around and be a playoff contender. Everybody else, especially with the expanded wildcard team, thinks they're a playoff contender or knows they're a playoff contender. Yeah. So, like, you have to go find the guy on, like, I'm not saying this is your closer, but he's having an astounding year. Like, I would call the Rockies right now and ask what they want for Jake Bird. Like, that would be my first move. It's not the only move, but the guy has been excellent this season. and they have 12 wins this year or whatever they have. Like you have to find a team that's not playing well and has somebody that you want. Like, are you calling about Jake Bird? Are you calling about Aroldis Chapman? Those are the two names that jump out to me.
Bautista from the Orioles.
Bautista's another one. Right.
Pagan from the Reds. Yeah, like I read those top names just as like, who are those guys, right? Like, Dombrowski needs to do this in the offseason. You can't, like, the problem is Romano was brought in to be the guy. I guess based on our lesson from earlier in the show, it's a long season, and who knows how Romano's going to be pitching at the end of the season.
Well, let me ask you guys this. If Romano ends up taking Kerkering's role, but Kerkering takes the role that Romano expected, is that not a net zero? Like, does that not come out to be what we're asking for?
Yeah.
It looks to me like the way that Rob Thompson's using this bullpen, Orion Kerkering's going to be the de facto closer, at least until they acquire somebody that is actually a closer.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing. But to your point, yeah, use them last night. And I like Kerkering in these high leverage situations. I need to see him come through. He did last night. All right, coming back. We'll update you on some NBA Finals game last night. Where were you and TJ McConnell almost single-handedly had the Pacers win Game 5 before Rick Carlisle benched him in the fourth quarter? That's Black Gritty's guy, TJ McConnell.
Dude.
Of all the ones that got away, Black Gritty, we don't talk about TJ McConnell enough.
I don't want to call racism, but it felt racist to me last night. I was like, my white boy can't wait. White chocolate can't get out there on the court. He's out there. He was, what is it, like 6 for 7?
Hold on. We'll talk about coming up. We'll talk about coming up. All right. Philly with John Marks back in 2-2. Don't go anywhere. But hey, listen, summer is here, which means, the kids are out of school. I know that very well. But listen, there's a lot going on. Perfect time to set them up with something that's really cool. So it's the Greenlight app, the Greenlight account. I talked about this before. My kids have it. It is a great way to teach your kids about finances, right? They can learn. So my kids don't have jobs yet or anything like that, but they do earn an allowance, a small allowance for doing their chores every month. You can set that up right there on the Greenlight app. So every Friday, directly deposited from my account on TrueMark Financial right to their account. They get $5, $6, whatever it is that they get between the three kids, they get it. And it's a great way for them because then they're checking their bank statement. They're like, oh, my direct deposit came in. So it's a really, really cool way to get them into their finances, to be financially responsible. And they also get their own debit card with their name on it, which they think is the coolest thing ever. So when they're getting money and they get money for their birthday or they get money from the Tooth Fairy and we deposit it in the account, they can make purchases from Amazon or wherever they want to. Again, this is real world stuff and it's the Greenlight app. It's really cool. Head to TrueMark.com/Greenlight for all the details and you can sign up today and don't miss the chance to set your kids up for financial success. Boom. There you go. All right, BetParx, what do you got? What do you got? Been riding the Phils. Riding the Phils? All right, so check it out. We have a lot going on in the world of sports. Last night, Pro Hoops Finals. What did you think? Were you in? By the way, we got shafted last night. Because I will say that, because I took Indiana plus 9.5. That was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter. So in the spirit of the bet, I was right. So I'm going to take a win last night. But, the Fightins are killing it. We have at least one more game in the pro finals. You have pro hockey, everything live bet. Not only can you bet in game and before the game, strikeouts, home runs, rebounds, points, assists, everything else, you can live bet the game. Odds change once the game starts. All right, live betting is better on the BetParx app, and there's always another way to win because it's the BetParx Sportsbook and online casino app. That's correct. You can play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots. And new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to BetParx.com. Download the app right now. Enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet BetParx. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hoo-ah. All right. Also, tomorrow is our Streamathon. How about that? Streamathon. Hey, wait, I like this. How long has this show been going on for? Hi, Luke. Yeah, well, Black Grady joins me at least once a week. We've been doing this particular show since when? September? Something like that, right? Maybe late August. It was certainly before football season. So, yeah, normally Black Grady is a midweek co-host, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tomorrow's Streamathon. So I got him in here today. We have a lot of fun. Black Grady sits in the dark.
I do.
And he says hello.
Because I don't wake up.
So Black Grady Streamathon is tomorrow. That starts at 8 a.m. with Philly with John Marks. It goes all the way tonight. And what is Streamathon? And it's brought to you by TrueMark Financial. Man, it is all of our personalities, all of our shows, lots of surprises, special guests, and more. It starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it's one continuous show, right? So when I'm done at 9 o'clock, then you have to X out and you have to go over to Anthony's show. Not with this. You can just go to PHLY, subscribe, like, all that stuff, and we roll for 12 continuous hours. So there you go. That's tomorrow. So make sure you chime in. Check it out. There you go.
Monday.
What was going on at the Link last night? Some soccer, huh? Were you paying attention to that?
I was not. I had NBA, I had baseball, I had other things going on. I'm trying to redo my studio. It's still going to be dark and black, but I got some new setup coming up, Johnny Marks. I'll give you some of my old spare parts while you're
Can I get that
studio over there?
Yeah.
Yours is coming together. Mine's about to fall apart. I'm trying to get backed up like you are. Like I put a couch in here, so I'm really zoomed up on my camera. So I gotta like give myself a little bit more distance and space in my remodel.
There you go. All right, I love that. Yeah, it's like my youngest daughter is wearing clothes from my oldest daughter, and then my nieces who are younger or my youngest daughter's age, I go over to their house and it's like, hey, that shirt looks familiar. Oh yeah, Gianna wore that in 2018.
Well,
so I can do the same with your studio equipment.
How's your oldest?
Gianna's 9.5.
So you got 3 more years before all your hoodies disappear, bro. There was a time period I'm like, where are my hoodies at? And my daughter, I saw her on like Snapchat wearing one of my old doctor like Black Gritty type hoodies, like my face on it. I'm like, why are you wearing my hoodie to school? Like, she brought back like 9 hoodies, Johnny Marks. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, soon your daughter's gonna steal all your clothes. They're gonna steal your clothes.
One of
all the hoodies.
One of the problems one of the many problems in my house, but one of them is we have entirely too many hoodies because my wife makes shirts and hoodies and things like that. So it's like, oh, we're going to the Phillies game. Let me make some new Phillies shirts for everybody, which is like cool.
Yeah.
Right. Like the Phillies are in Red October. Not that she's making Phillies apparel because that would be illegal, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yep. I do.
Yeah. So like we oh my God, we have so many hoodies. I can't even fit the stuff in the kids' closets anymore. They have so many hoodies. And now it's the summer. So now you're like, all right, well, you have to prioritize hoodies to keep them in the main part. And then the other hoodies need to go away for the winter. But then it's like, well, where's this? Where's my Taylor Swift hoodie? And it's like,
these kids wear hoodies in 95-degree weather, Johnny Marks. I don't know what's going on with these kids. I don't know if there's like they're mutants now or what, but they're walking around in the middle of summer wearing hoodies. And like I said, your oldest is going to start wearing your hoodies because all her hoodies are getting hand-me-down, and she's going to start hunting for your closet hoodies.
Yep. Oh, no, I know that will happen for sure. Yeah, it'll be, hang on a second. Like, why are you wearing my very expensive Eagles hoodie that I got for Christmas that's cost Mom $200?
Yeah, I barely wear it. And now you're taking it, and I can't find it when I want to wear it.
Where did it go? What? Let's check under your bed. I don't know where it is, Dad. Yeah. All right. So you were watching the finals last night?
Yes.
All right. So first thing before we talk about the game, remember when everybody loved Tony Romo for a season? They're like, oh, he's the best thing ever. And then the second season, it's like, he's really annoying. Maybe it was the third year, but you reach the point where you're like, he sucks. And it happened like that. Doris Burke, that's happened for me with Doris Burke. She's overexposed and she does not have good chemistry with Mike Breen. And she's weird, man. I don't know. It's weird because I always liked her and I think she's good, but I am not enjoying her analysis in these finals. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me.
It's not you because her co-host does matter. Because whenever she's bothered me, it's because she's with someone that I don't like her with. Because I think she's great too. She's like a classic voice that I like not grew up on, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've heard for a long time. So hearing her is like comforting. And I've heard her talk about basketball in a way that like, yo, I know you know what you're doing, but you're right. And these finals, listening to her, it's maddening sometimes. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the finals. Lock in. So it's not just you.
Well, and because everything that you read is Breen. They don't have good chemistry, and everybody knows it. Breen needs like a former player, because he is very much a like bang, and then he needs quick straight analysis from a player, and then right back to him. She's wordy, and she likes to she's like, oh, and you look at what Shea Gilgeous-Alexander does on that play, and he doesn't extend the arm. He creates his own space. Breen's like, give me the, like, he wants it back. And she's too wordy. They don't work well together. And I agree with you 100% that. Because you know what? Like with Kate Scott, I would like Kate Scott better if Alla wasn't there. You understand? Like they're too similar. Al is like, and I'm sure he's a nice guy. I can't take that broadcast. It's a horrible broadcast. I think Kate would sound a lot different if she had like a Mark Jackson, more of a, instead of a cheesy puker, because that's kind of what Kate is. She needs more of a straight player that hasn't been doing TV for 30 years like Alla has.
Especially when like what I want to hear bang in the finals. And I want to hear that repetitive back-to-back moment, because big moments compound on top of big moments. And when she's in there giving her soliloquy, I'm like, bro, there's stuff happening right now. This is not like, we got to move. And so
Van Gundy was much better.
Van Gundy was much better.
Much better with Breen. And you know what? Like Bill Walton shouldn't be a guy that's working with Breen, because Bill Walton's the same kind of thing as Doris Burke. Like
super slow. Like, oh God.
Yeah, you need like
a story about his son and his socks in the middle of the finals. Like, what are we doing?
Especially with these two teams that are up and down, fast pace. You need to be in and out, back to Breen, boom. They just don't work very well. All right. So with that being said, the Pacers last night, they lose. They're down 3-2. But the big story, TJ McConnell almost single-handedly gets the Pacers back in the game in the third quarter. I think he had 13 points in the third quarter, which is unbelievable. He didn't play in the fourth quarter. They brought in Tyrese Halliburton, who didn't get a field goal the entire game. He's got a calf injury, so he hurt his calf. He's out there like verbal Kint, like dragging his leg around. What are they doing? What the hell is Rick Carlisle doing?
At this point, he's a detriment to the team. He's not even a dummy figure. Like, I'll take all these arrows for Bohm. I used to take so much stuff from people about TJ McConnell, because I just, my core heart was like, if I could have just took TJ McConnell's heart and mindset and put it in Joel Embiid, I'd have 5 championships. That guy is a glue guy. That guy's a fighter. That's a guy you want on your team, on your bench, and on the court when he's on fire. He was NBA Jams on fire. And the fact that you sit him down is criminal. And one other stat that I heard that's actually turning out to be an amazingly true stat. The Pacers are 21-0 when they score 111 points. If they score 110, 19, they're like 1-13 or something stupid like that. Like, so at halftime, I'm like, they're going to lose this game. I knew, because they weren't on pace to score 111 points. And then TJ McConnell comes in and turns the world upside down and inside out, and then they sit him. And I'm like, what is going on? This is actually a good finals, Johnny Marks. I picked OKC in 5. The games have all been close. There's been a lot of drama back and forth. They've been good games. I know they're not big markets, but this is what we want. Like, we want a chance to win a championship. One of these teams is going to have a chance to win a championship, and it might be the Pacers. Even though Halliburton's, again, hobbled. But, man, TJ, play my boy.
13 points, 1 rebound, 6 of 7 from the field. And this is the only game he's been doing it. When he comes in, his minutes, and I get it, the more minutes, the more he's exposed. Let me tell you this, especially with Halliburton, you can still play Halliburton if you want to. If McConnell doesn't play 30 minutes in Game 6, I don't know what the hell Rick Carlisle is doing. Every game he's been in there, his impact. He has immediate impact. I don't know. It's crazy, man.
He's a vibe guy, and you need that. Especially they're going back home. They got Pat McAfee down there WWE style hooping it up every time the game starts. He's talking trash on Stephen A. Smith on the big board. I love I used to love Caller Crime. That ESPN crime is popping, boy. I tune in early when it's home game so I can watch McAfee talk trash on other ESPN personalities and his little opener there. It's on and popping. It's a fun little series. Johnny Marks.
Yep. I've enjoyed it more than the Lakers. If the Lakers played whoever or the Knicks played whoever, it's been great. It really has. And I'm rooting Pacers. I hope the Pacers win it. I hope they play McConnell more. It's going to be tough at this point. I mean, bottom line is that when you look at the construction of both these teams, you look at OKC, Jalen Williams scores 40 points last night. He was the 12th overall pick in the draft, I think last year. So like, how do you win? You have really good players on your team, right? How do you get those players? The philosophy of you get these veterans and you max them, you get max slots. So you have Joel Embiid, you have Paul George, and you have Tyrese Maxey that was your draft pick. Like Daryl Morey's drafted well. His first round draft picks have been good, but you look at the construction of Oklahoma City, they don't have a bunch of high priced max veteran players that you signed via free agency or you kept. SGA 31 points, Jalen Williams 40 points. Alex Caruso, who's a glue guy, he didn't shoot well last night, but he's a defensive stopper. Like Isaiah Joe, who has been a major contributor coming off the bench. It makes you sad because then you talk about the 76ers, Black Gritty. And I think it was after you were on with me last time because I texted you. The stories continued to come out about how the feel is right now that they're not going to take Ace Bailey with the third pick. Now, that could change. Maybe it's smoke. But honestly, I really don't know what they're going to do. I would guess right now the draft is in 1 week.
Yep.
No, it's 1 week and 1 day. It's the 25th. So it's next Wednesday, 8 days. Right now, if I would venture a guess what the Sixers do, I would say that they take Edgecombe with the third pick.
So I'll be mad about that. I'll lose my mind. And I saw a tweet yesterday from was it Shams? I hope it was Shams. And it had Paul George in an Orlando uniform. And they said that Orlando might want Paul George. If I could get Paul George off of this team for any reason whatsoever, I will be so happy. And Johnny Marks, all I want is I told you this. I want the top 3 prospects. I don't want to deviate. I don't care what happens. This other kid they're talking about, Baylor's trying to hype him up 40%. He can be a 40% shooter in 2 years. He plays defense. He scored 11 points a game or 12 points a game, whatever it was. I don't want it. I want hope. Johnny Marks.
Up with hope, down with dope.
That's right.
Anyone said. All right, we have the BetParx Parlay of the day coming up next, so get your pick there ready, Black Gritty, and more. That is straight ahead, Philly with John Marks on PHLY. All right, GLAT Hair Restoration. You know them, you love them. I was on social media and I saw a GLAT Hair post. So I follow GLAT Hair Restoration on Instagram. And it was me. Imagine that. And I was getting the TED treatment, which is it's like almost these like mini massagers, and they put serum in your hair, and because it's almost like a mini massage to your scalp. It actually it's very, very satisfying. It feels good. But what it does is the hair follicles that maybe you're clogged or you're thinning. Every year when I go to see the hair team at GLAT Hair Restoration, we take a before and after picture. So you do it like straight ahead like this. And then they have me do one where I put my head down and we see the crown of my head. And what you're looking for in that particular situation is you're looking for it to look the same. Sure, you would like hair growth, and a little bit of hair growth is great. But if it looks the same a year to year, that's a win, right? That means you haven't lost any additional hair. GLAT Hair Restoration. So sure, if you want restoration, I got a hair restoration procedure. Look at my hair. It looks great. But it's about innovation, keeping the hair that you already have. GLAT Hair Restoration, I'm telling you, they're the experts in the industry. Over 30 years of experience when it comes to hair. That's correct. So don't take your life into your own hand and go to Turkey to deal with your hair, or buy some crap off of Instagram or Facebook or wherever and think that some shampoo is going to regrow your hair. It's not. This is science, technology, innovation, GLATHAIRMM.com. GLAT hairmm.com is the website. Or you can text them or call them. 610-980-4000. 610-980-4000. GLATHAIRMM.com. Hooah! All right, let's talk about experts. Well, yeah, experts in the world of sports. That's everybody here at PHLY. When there's something wrong medically, you want to go to like, oh, well, I went and saw he's an expert. He's the best doctor in Philadelphia when it comes to this. How about flooring? Empire Today, experts. That's all they do. Dedicated flooring professionals. They focus on flooring every single day. They live and breathe it, and they're with you every step of the way. So you're not just buying the material and then dragging it home and then having to find a contractor to do it. So when you first contact them, EmpireToday.com/PHLY, schedule a free in-home estimate. They come over, and that's the start of the relationship right there. Boom. They come over. Here's what we have. They bring the showroom to your home. Here's what we have. Here's how it looks in your space. Here's how it looks with your furniture, with your lighting, with your walls, right? With the color of your walls. And then they take precise measurements. All your questions that you have are answered. You can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. You're getting the best deal that you're going to get, right? And they're with you from the first time you talk to them to when they're over there to the installation till afterwards. So you don't have to worry about anything else. So don't go to the big box store and buy a bunch of material and you're like, oh, well, this will look good in my house. Now I got to find somebody to do. Nope. Just contact them. And boom, it's taken care of. EmpireToday.com/PHLY. You can save $350 with code PHLY. EmpireToday.com/PHLY. Hooah! All right, there we go. We're back. And it's black.
We are black.
Filthies.
Yes.
I like that hat.
Yeah, filthy wear. I'm trying to get back in my hat game. I got a couple hats. Trying to get my hat gear back in game. Trying to, you know what I mean? So I can get to Dr. Glatt. We got to go in there. We got to go visit.
Yeah, I brought it up to them, and they're like, yeah. And then I try to. So we just got to schedule like a Wednesday to go over.
We just got to pop up on them, Johnny Marsh. We just got to roll up on them.
Yep. Well,
bring the camera crew and just roll up on them.
Maybe you just schedule a consultation, and then you show up, and I'm there smiling.
There we go. Let's get it done.
Now you just can't leave, as somebody once said. So Tyler just popped up $1,000 so far. Yes, that's for what we're doing this week, Spirit Week, as we're partnering with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Again, bbbs.org/ALLCITY. Up to $1,000. We're trying to get 10,000 by the end of the week. So it's only Tuesday, $1,000. That's good. That's good. So check it out. We appreciate you. All right, let's well, you know what? Let's just do it because we got screwed last night. And our BetParx Parlay of the day. So I had the Pacers plus 9.5 last night. That really should have been a win, and Rick Carlisle screwed us. So the spirit of the bet was it was going to be a closer game than that. And I'm watching the end of the fourth quarter, and I'm like, just get a 3. Yeah. Get a garbage 3. Backdoor this line. Didn't happen, Tyler Zuli.
Send Rick Carlisle bill.
So, yeah,
seriously. CC the Indiana Pacers on it.
Seriously, I got screwed on Rick Brunson fouled out in the third quarter of one of those playoff games, and he needed 7 more points to go over. The way that dude shoots. Anyway, so Tyler hit again last night. What's your record here in the last
10-1 in the last 11 games?
Tyler's on fire.
And Gritty, he's doing it with players I've never heard of, and in Major League Baseball, and he's doing props. Now I know who. Yeah, who did you use?
I took James Wood. James Wood last night. So he ended up with a double and a home run. So he crushed the over bag and a half. You know how much I love James Wood. The kid's going to be a superstar. I genuinely.
He's a good actor too. I mean, it's amazing that he's been able to second career as a. Oh, that's Woods. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So tonight I'm going to go to the Game 6 of the NHL Stanley Cup. I think the Florida Panthers are going to close this thing out tonight, but I'm not going to take the money line or anything like that. I am going to take a player prop. Sam Bennett has been on an absolute heater. He has a point in 9 of his last 10 games in 6 straight. He has 22 points in 22 playoff games this year. For Sam Bennett to record a point, it's -152. So I think the likely scenario is if Florida wins the series tonight, or even in Game 7, if they win the series, Sam Bennett's going to win the Conn Smythe Award. So I'm just going to keep riding the hot hand. I'm going to take Sam Bennett to record a point at -152.
There you go. Oh, so you think it gets closed out tonight?
I do. Florida's at home tonight. I think this one's over. I think they're going to win back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Anybody else rooting Canada in this one? I would love to see Edmonton win.
I got money on USA, so I need Florida to win. So that's where I put my money at. So I can't go, against America right now.
All right, well, that's fine.
The whole team.
There's a part of me that every time I watch Bob win, every time he wins a game, wins a playoff series, wins a Stanley Cup, wins a Vezina because he's got 2 in his career, just kind of digs the nail a little bit deeper into the coffin that is the Flyers franchise.
And you see, that's an Ed Snyder thing. Ed Snyder wanted to win a cup. He was impatient. Said, "Oh, well, he's a rookie. We got Bob Brown or Brizgalov's available," and shipped him out. Wins 2 Vezinas and Stanley Cups. Go ahead, Blackberry. I'm sorry.
Shut up, Johnny Marston. Every time I come on here, boy, you just digging my back with something to make me feel pain inside. Can I get a 2 hits from Turner tonight? I'm trying to make some money. Turner's been on fire. I'm trying to get 2 hits from Turner.
Oh, so you're gonna put him in a slump. All right, let's see. So we have. That's why I'm afraid to bet the Phillies, because if I bet the Phillies to win, then they'll lose. Trey Turner over 1.5 is +140.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, +140. That's pretty good value. +140. So let's stick with those right here. I'm not even going to jinx it tonight. So
Johnny Marks, it's going to be sunshiny outside today. Yeah, but it's going to rain tomorrow.
Right.
297.89 would be the payoff for a $100 bet on Trey Turner. All right, listen, I'm just saying, you guys have been, well, at least Tyler's been good on his bets. I don't even want to touch it. All right, so
that's when I picked Schwarber for a Schwarber. He hit it, so All
right, so check this out. Tyler, we talked about it again yesterday. Gritty, do you remember when I was championing Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers for MVP and the Pacers to win?
Yeah.
Well, Halliburton has 1 leg, so that seems extremely unlikely that if they do come back and win it, that he's going to do it. So who else would be the MVP if they win the series, unless Halliburton does it on 1 leg?
Pascal
Siakam.
I guess. So right now, for a $100 bet, if Halliburton's the MVP and the Pacers win it, you win $30,900.
He just had a 0-point game. They didn't give him the Eastern Conference Finals because he had a 0-point game or a 5-point game. They're not going to give him the NBA Finals with a 0-point game.
All right, so let's look at let's real fast look at the it's too,
because I think the Pacers pull out at home and they go to Game 7.
Right, and then anything else can happen. Has Siakam done enough though to be the guy?
I mean, who else is doing enough? The team is like rotated on who's hot or who's not. At that point, it's like a Andre Iguodala situation. Like you're just looking for somebody somewhat consistent.
No, I agree. All right, so it would be Siakam plus 1,200 would be what it is. So right now, for a $100 bet, it's 12,900. Siakam Pacers. So $10 would win you 12.90.
That's actually a good deal. I might do that just in case.
It's worth $10, no?
It's worth $10. That's actually worth $10.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. That sounds really good, actually.
All right there on the BetParx app. Check it out.
They can mess around and win.
They can mess around and win.
Who's the front runner? Is it SGA and Thunder to win?
Yeah.
SGA's -835.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not. I mean, it'd be surprising if it's like I can't even imagine it would be anything else. I mean, the only way you don't win that is if the Pacers win the series.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Because no one else is gonna. I mean, as good of a game as Jalen Williams had last night. SGA had 31 points too, so it's not like that he had 0 points.
Let me go drop $50K to get 2 cents on SGA.
No doubt about it. Did you see
it as a winner on social media make you look good?
True.
Guys, I want to bet. Don't worry.
Yeah, true.
So Ohtani pitches last night. He pitched last night. It got to be 2 years, right? He hasn't pitched since he had the Tommy John. hit 100. He was an opener. I think he gave up a run, so he didn't necessarily, like, it wasn't great, but still, it's his first outing out there, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, but I mean, did you watch the broadcast? It was like, did you know that the sun gives us sustenance? The sun feeds the planet, the food, the earth, everything. I like, they were talking about this guy like he was Moses and Jesus walking on water. I'm like, okay, he's a pitcher and hitter. I get it. Can we get to the game? He hasn't pitched in forever. I don't know what he's about to do. They were just glazing him last night on the open. I was like, oh my God, can we talk about anything else for 2 seconds? Like, he is not a Cy Young winning pitcher. Like, he does two things. Cool. Like, come on
now. Yeah,
not on my team. It makes me upset to listen to positive stuff. Other people being happy. I don't like it.
Well, Phillies are winning the World Series, so we don't.
True that.
True that. I mean, all right. So I want to end on this, and we can, and you can also, Tyler, you can chime in on this. So I remember this as a youngster, but in 1992 on this day, Don Imus, remember Don Imus? He was critical of the governor of Connecticut. So the governor of Connecticut said, like, oh, I'd like to see you switch places with me for a day. So that's what he did. They changed places for a day, and the governor did his radio show, and Imus was now, being a governor for a day, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything for a day. It's one day. Like, what are you really doing? The whole thing about being a governor or a president or whatever is that you're trying to shape what you're doing for your term. That doesn't happen in a day. But still, if you could do any other job for one day, what would it be? Any other day where you could switch places and do anything, what would it be for one day? I can tell you mine. I would want to be a border patrol agent, either working in customs or at like a stop trying to get over the border from Mexico, and be examining the cars and have the dog that's trying to sniff. I found all these things on YouTube, these National Geographic shows, and then there's a version of it in Australia where they're doing the same thing. It's these custom agents where people are trying to bring food and drugs into the country, into Australia. And it's like cops for that, which I find really, really cool. And I want to do that. So I would do that for a day.
I personally would like to be Jeffrey Lurie and have ownership of the Philadelphia Eagles for a day. And the one thing that I can accomplish in a day is to give out one free ticket to every man, woman, and child in the tri-state area within a 20-mile radius of the team. People starting with, if you've ever gone to a game. If you've never gone to a game, you're getting a ticket. You're going to be up in nosebleeds, but you're going to get a ticket. The biggest scam in America is that taxpayers pay for stadiums to get built at a place they can never afford to go to. And as the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, my charitable event would be to make sure that every man, woman, and child got to go to a game. Now, your son, Tyler, might not get to go until 2042, but he will have that one ticket allotted to him, and he will get to go watch a game on the ownership of Black Crazy Day.
It's you, philanthropist BG, right there. I love that.
Yep.
And by the way, they'll be in a new stadium when Tyler's son gets to go to a game.
I mean, it'll be great for him. You know what I mean?
So my dad has had season tickets since the 90s, and I think he is patiently waiting for me to go, okay, I'll eventually buy them. And my thought process is, first of all, I can't afford them. And second of all, I have a 70-inch TV in my house. I'm comfortable right where I'm at. So it might be a while till I buy them. But
so do you not like even going to one game a year?
Oh no, I love going to one game a year.
Okay.
I enjoy going, like, if he gives me, and the cool thing is with that is, like, I get the call Sunday morning and it's like, hey, we got an extra ticket. You want to go? And it's kind of a surprise, and it's a nice surprise. But, oh yeah, absolutely, I want to go. But I would say, and I'm already a curmudgeon when it comes to start times. Like, I want to go to a 1:00 game.
Me too.
I don't want to go Sunday night. I don't want to go Monday morning. I don't want to go Thursday night. Like, I'll go to the 1:00 game in October when it's still kind of warm.
Yeah, perfect.
Exactly. I need perfect conditions at this point. To answer your question, what job would I want to do? I have in another life, I will be a rock star. I would love to take the stage with a band one time and just like front of a band and just like, because you guys ever been to a concert and you can just tell the front man or front woman just like leads the crowd. They know what they're doing. Like, and like there is just
oh yeah, For sure.
They take over the entire aura. That's what I want to do. Like I want to lead a band. Like one time I want to come out, how we doing, Philly? Type of stuff. You know? Yeah, exactly.
Tyler and the Zulies.
No, but and by the way, we're if you watch it on TV, slide on over to allphly.com. We're in overtime. Let's. Front man, the best front man isn't necessarily the best or the most gifted singer. They have the stage presence, like a David Lee Roth. I think Van Halen's better with Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar's like a better singer, but David Lee Roth for Van Halen was like, to me, that's the better front man of the band. He just had a stage presence, and I saw them in 2007 at. Was that the Spectrum? Even I don't know, but David Lee Roth even then was still doing the spin kicks, but he was, in his 60s or 50s or whatever. He wasn't as fast as he once was, but still he was pulling it off. So that was pretty cool.
So if I got to be a band leader, I'd want to be Axl Rose or Jimi Hendrix. Like if I could just be them at a show, like that would be awesome. Like
you want to be that dude.
Yeah, I want to be that dude. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean like rocking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or Freddie Mercury.
I was gonna say one of the all-time great crowd work shows is Freddie Mercury when Queen performed at Live Aid in '85.
Holy cow, that's iconic.
Unreal how good that show is, and like he commanded the entire crowd, and he always did. But that show, like, just and maybe because of the scale and the size and everything, like. That's a live forever type of moment.
Yeah. K-Red has an interesting comment right down there on our discussion, and it's true. So see, like what I'm looking at is I'm looking to protect the citizens of the country from fentanyl, from illegal food products coming in that could put us in danger with with bird flu and things like that. Yeah, I'm trying to protect you. Tyler wants to be a front man to a band. The only reason I would want to be a front man is for the women that have it. At least BG's trying to be charitable, but then he wants to be a billionaire. Oh, wow, great. Awesome. I would be a billionaire. Oh, good answer.
Giving it away. It's one of the biggest, that and kids getting paid in college are two of my biggest pet peeves in sports and life. Like they should have just said, hey, every D1 school kid gets a $10,000 a year stipend and everything would have been solved. But instead they ripped these kids off for decade upon decade. Now we got the NIL running wild and we got people out here shut up, Johnny Marks. I'm trying to get back to my community. Yeah.
By the way, just because I found this, I was going through a bin of stuff. This is when I had Eagles season tickets, section 746, row 15, November 11th, 2001. This was a 4:15 game against the Vikings. You can't see it. It's a glare. I don't know why I saved this. It's in great condition. But yeah, for some reason, this was in some bin that I had, which is pretty cool. Also, if you notice, I have books behind me. If you see the wide shot, I have a lot of, why can't I do this? I have a lot of mafia books. So I guess my other thing I would like to do would be in the mafia. I would like to be I don't need to be the mafia. I don't need to be even lieutenant or anything like that. I could just be a soldier, a mafia soldier.
In the mafia.
Yeah. My next life, I could be in the mafia. Yeah, I'm fascinated with the mafia, which isn't what it once was.
I too can read.
Yeah. What's that?
This is a book that I had in middle school that I was dating a girl and she got me this book and I read it and I was talking to another girl and she was like, I read that in middle school, and she bought us both the books on eBay to reread. It's about a blonde woman found in the desert who happens to be God, and her name is Sadie, and she goes around like helping people. It's a really weird fantasy book. It's an obscure thing. The fact that another person in life has read it besides me was interesting. So that's the book.
And Tyler, is that fiction that you put up, Tyler?
So it is. So I don't know if you guys have seen the show on Netflix called The Last Kingdom. It's one of my favorite shows. It's about the time period of the Viking invasion of England and England's attempt to become a unified England because it was 7 kingdoms at the time. So it's historical fiction. There's some real people. There's disputes on if the main character was actually a real person or not, but I love the show, and the books are more in depth. They're more detailed. They kind of tell more of the story, as most of the time books do. But I love these. I love that show, and these books have been great.
I can't follow fiction. You ever read a book and you went through like 5 pages and you don't know one thing that happened in the last pages because you're just kind of reading the words, you're not comprehending any of it. Anytime I read fiction, it's weird. Like I have no interest and I can't do it. Nonfiction, even biographies, I get bored by. Nonfiction, I'm a big fan of. I try to read I try to always have a book that I'm reading. A lot of times it takes me a while to get through it just because I don't do it on that many opportunities. But I actually have the 9/11 report. It's like a book. It's like this thick. You can't see both my hands. It's really, really thick, but it's the 9/11 Commission report.
Oh, yeah.
And I took it. I was trying to take it on a trip because we had a long trip out to Arizona. And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And it's like, "You can't take that on a plane." I'm like, "What? This is going to make me blow up a plane?" She's like, "First of all, why are you want it?" Like, I bought it. I went to Barnes & Noble and actually bought it with a gift certificate and a gift card. And then I wanted to take it on a plane. She's having a fit. I'm like, "Fine, I won't bring it." Jesus Christ. Like, what's the
I
big
agree
deal?
with the wife.
So does everybody else.
The juju alone, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Did you see that Bin Laden Netflix documentary? I read that book. It's based on a book.
Oh, is it?
It's 3-part. It's not long enough. You could do 20 hours on it. Really, it's like 2.5 hours. It's 3 parts. It's really, really good. The book is awesome because it gives so many details into everything and a lot of the back story that you don't know about it. But yeah, like I have CIA books. And by the way, people ripping me for saying that I would like to be a border customs agent, like I'm some kind of an a-hole for it. Like what are we doing? Is this the show where every law enforcement agent is a total dick and terrible and whatever? Like, come on, I'm trying to protect you.
If that was
the case, out of the company.
If that was the case, first of all, I'd like to be okay, let's do that. If you had to be an officer, what kind of officer would you want to be? Or what kind of law? With FBI, CIA? I want to be CIA or what's CIA. Or MI6. I want to be one of those two. I want to be out here border patrol. I'm trying to get my hand on some cash, some cars. I'm trying to James Bond it up for a day.
Well, I want to be CIA too, but you couldn't have a family and be in the CIA. You know what I mean?
For a day. We have no family for a day.
All right. Yeah, I would like to be in the CIA.
Yeah, CIA sounds great.
Or I want to be the cart collector at Wegmans. That would be my other answer.
That's your future job.
I know it is. No. My when I decide I'm not doing this stuff anymore, I'm gonna be a lifeguard at the Jersey Shore. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like a 62-year-old lifeguard in Ventnor,
and I'll still be halfway through the 9/11 dossier while you're out there.
Oh no, I've read it. No, that's been read. When I watched the Netflix documentary, I went back and I was reading some more of it. I don't want to say it's really, really good. It's really, really interesting.
Interesting.
The inside of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, anyway, Tyler, what do you got coming up today with the PHLY Philly show?
Yeah, going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into Orion Kerkering, who got his first career save last night. Has been really, really good, at least in terms of ERA. We'll dive a little deeper into him and what his role might look like for the rest of the year.
All right. Tomorrow, again, it is the Streamathon. Yep. Starting at 8 a.m. Streamathon. I will be live in studio. We're gonna be in the middle part where they do the exciting mics. And I mean, I'm not even allowed to tell you who's going to join us at 8 o'clock. Part of the reason of that is because I don't know. Well, I know one person, but I think there's more than one person joining me at 8 o'clock. And it goes for 12 hours. Tyler's going to be on later in the afternoon. He's going to take you into a pregame, and then it's a watch along into the game tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. Go to blackgritty.com. For everything you need to
say hi.
Yeah, everything you need to know on Black Gritty. His merchandise, everything else.
I'm in the street. Come say hi. Yeah,
come say hi. Everybody likes to say hi to Black Gritty. Everybody have a great afternoon. Click on out. Go over to Anthony. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.